Blue is the color, football is the game. We're all together, and winning is our aim. So cheer us on through the sun and rain, 'cause Chelsea is our name. Yes, get in, come on. Chelsea just beat Barcelona 3-0. 3-0. I repeat, 3-0 at Stamford Bridge in the Champions League. Listen, I was a little bit confident going to this game. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say that I was overconfident going to this game. I believe they're going to beat Barca. No, Barca are on top of the table, so we should at least give them that respect. But like I said in my last review, when Chelsea decides to turn up, everything works, and I don't think there's anything that can beat us. It's just that sometimes we just lack concentration at the back, and then we mess up. But today's game was perfect from start to finish. The lineup was perfect. When I saw the lineup, I tweeted that this is the strongest lineup I've seen from Chelsea this season. It is. To me, it was. But some people were disappointed with the lineup. They didn't understand why Pedro Neto was up top. Pedro Neto's form is fantastic. I would rather prefer to put Pedro Neto up top playing a false nine than using Joao Pedro or using Liam Delap. And when Delap came in the game, you saw clearly that even though he got a goal, you saw clearly that he was still lacking. The way Pedro Neto was pushing forward, the way Pedro Neto was making himself available, the positions he was finding himself in, Delap wasn't doing that when he came on. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about this game. I'm so excited. I mean, I've been shouting all evening. Man, from the defenders to our attackers, the goalkeeper, everything was perfect today. Perfect. Yes, when the game started, it was end-to-end action. There was like the first few 7 minutes, it was Chelsea pressing. Then the next 7 minutes was Barcelona pressing. Next 7 minutes, Chelsea pressing. But the more dangerous chances were falling to Chelsea. And when I saw that high line that Barcelona were playing, I could smell blood. And I know the Chelsea players were smelling blood. They were smelling it. Because this game was more or less a carbon copy of the PSG game. Down to the red card, down to the fact that a player of theirs got a red card. Maybe this one came earlier than the PSG one, but down to the red card. If you allow Chelsea to exploit those wings, if you allow Chelsea to run behind defenses, we can be deadly. I mean, imagine if Palmer had played this game. Imagine if Palmer had got those chances, those spaces that our attackers were getting. I mean, he would have enjoyed this game. Palmer trained with the squad, but we knew that this game was too soon for him to return after the toe injury. But we are hoping that he returns against Arsenal. We played this game without Palmer, and look at what we're doing. We would have enjoyed this game. No Palmer, no problem. They were very, very lucky Palmer didn't play. In the first half, Pedro Neto, even though he was playing a false nine, he was still finding spaces behind defenses. Garnacho was the more quiet one, but even that, he was still dangerous. But he was the more quiet one than the first half. Estevao on the right side too. Fantastic. I mean, we'll come to Estevao, we'll come to the performances, but I just want to take it step by step because I'm so excited. Yes, it's just a group stage win, but the performance gives me so much hope. This makes me excited because Chelsea are capable. They are capable of beating the big teams. They are capable of winning big things. But sometimes we just have these kind of lapses in defense. We struggle in finishing our chances, and then we end up drawing or end up losing. But it seems like we've taken a turn for the good, and I can only see it rising from here onward. Arsenal game is going to be tricky, but let's focus on today's game, Barcelona. The way we exploited that high line, and Cucurella, fantastic performance from Cucurella. That first half, he owned Barcelona. He owned Yamal. He owned all the attackers. They were frustrated. Even the defense couldn't handle him. That is why Araujo got the red card. They couldn't contain him. Cucurella was tracking back to defend, and whenever we needed him up top, he was just dashing down the wings. And James and Caicedo in the middle, nobody was getting past them. The kind of tackles Caicedo was making, the kind of interceptions James was making, the kind of 50-50 chances that both of them were winning, and the way they were passing amongst themselves, it was so beautiful to watch. Today's game was so beautiful to watch. You can tell that I'm very, very excited. Let's talk about the first goal. I mean, it was coming. We knew it was coming because 2 goals had been disallowed already. At Chelsea that were knocking at the door, were knocking at Barcelona's door. We were banging actually, and we got the breakthrough. It came from a very neatly worked corner. It was a short corner from Estevao. Estevao found Pedro Neto, and Pedro Neto put a very good cross in between two Barcelona players and found Cucurella, who ran into the box and put in a very good cross in a very dangerous in a very dangerous area in the penalty box. It was very crowded. At first I thought it was either Fofana or Enzo might have had a touch on it, but it ended up being an own goal from Kunde. Even that one, they even also had to check to see whether there was any foul play in the box or anything, but it stood. This goal stood, and we were off. Even after the goal, we're still maintaining possession, we're still applying pressure because they were still playing high line. I don't know why they kept playing the high line. Didn't they watch the game we played against PSG? If you play high line against Chelsea, we are going to exploit that high line. We are going to exploit the spaces that are behind the defenses. That's why we're getting offside in the beginning of the game. But when we're able to time our rounds well, we're getting less offside calls, and we're able to find spaces in the back of that Barcelona defense. It gave us a very good upper hand when we're playing, and then they got a red card from Araujo. Araujo decided to take Cucurella down. He was frustrated by Cucurella the whole game. Cucurella was just running circles around him and Kunde, and yeah, I mean this time he couldn't take it anymore and decided to foul. He absolutely clattered Cucurella. I don't know whether he was going for the ball or going for the man, because Cucurella touched the ball just beyond his reach and just came and clattered Cucurella, and he got a second yellow card. At first I thought it was a straight red, but it was second yellow card. The first yellow card he got was from complaining, unnecessary yellow card from him, and I don't know what has happened to this player. At first, I really thought he was one of Barcelona's better players, but I don't know. Nowadays, he's just flopping here and there, and according to some of my Barca fans, he has been costing them a lot of games. So I don't know why he was even given the nod to start in this game in the first place. But he got a red card and he was off. And when he went off, our presses doubled down, and yeah, I mean Barcelona couldn't handle us. I don't remember them having any chance from the time we scored our goal. Even leading up to the goal, they were not getting any chances at all. And whenever they started any attack, we had players there to stop them. Our defensive line, man. Our defensive line today. Chalobah, Fofana, Malo Gusto, Cucurella. I've mentioned Cucurella already. And Sanchez. I don't even think Sanchez made any save today. He was not called that many times today. They were all fantastic. Chalobah was intercepting balls left and right. It was good. It was so good at the back. I mean, Fofana's strength alone, no player was getting past him. I mean, Yamal is just a kid. He was trying to get around these people. He was trying to dribble past them. I don't even think he even got any dribble past any of these players. He couldn't even get past Caicedo in the first place, even to reach Chalobah or Fofana. I mean, that was the kind of game we're playing, where Yamal didn't even see much of the ball. That's the kind of game we're playing. So we went to the halftime break leading by a goal to nil, and me thinking that Barcelona was a goal down, I thought they were going to come into the second half more defensive, and I was also hoping that we wouldn't sit back and decide to defend the 1-goal lead, but we would still press, we would still continue our momentum that we took into the half, and we did exactly that. And Barcelona did the opposite. I thought they were going to defend. They didn't defend. They came back, even attacking even more, trying to attack even more, which meant that the space behind their defense was still there. It was still there for us to exploit, and boy, did we exploit it. Our second goal came from Estevao. Estevao throughout the game, man, this player is sensational. This player is fantastic. He's epic. He's superb. I mean, the adjectives are numerous. It was this game was like a battle. A lot of people taking it as a battle between the wonder kids, Yamal and Estevao, and Estevao came on top. His goal, man, his goal. So he received the ball in the final third and ran towards the penalty box. He turned Kubasi inside out and also dribbled past Alejandro Bald and smashed it into the roof of the Barcelona goal, and there was nothing Garcia could do about it. He scored this similar goal against Chelsea when he was playing for Palmeiras in the Club World Cup. Remember when we played against them? This was the kind of goal that he scored against us, and he scored a very similar goal this time. This time he was a little bit further away from the goal, but he absolutely smashed that into the roof. I mean, that it looks like that is his speciality, because I've seen him score that as well too when he was in Brazil in their league. So I think He's very good at scoring from that particular angle. And the way he took the players on, the way he twisted and turned them inside out, it was just a joy to watch. It was just fantastic to watch. And I mean, he was unplayable. He was just turning them upside down, inside out on the touchline anytime. And they had no option than to foul him. There was a tackle on him that looked like it was a little bit dangerous, and Maresca was like, I mean, enough is enough. They are going to kill you on the pitch. You're just 18 years. We don't want your legs to be broken, because it seemed like the Barca players had it out for him. They really wanted to hurt him. So Maresca sorted wise, took him off, and he I think he came off with James, and they came off to a standing ovation. Fantastic performance from everybody. Fantastic performance. And Josh Echampon and Tarek George came on. They also did very well. When they came in, they just slotted in. It didn't seem like the game had changed in any way. So Delap came on in the second half. I think he came on before the goal, after the goal, I can't remember. He came up in the second half for Garnacho. Garnacho, like I said, he was the quieter amongst all our attackers, but I don't think he did anything bad though. He was also doing his best. He was also doing very, very well. But the other players just outshone him. The other players were just fantastic. In the first half too, our press, a lot of it was coming from Garnacho's side. So even though it was quiet, he didn't really get chances on his own, but he was making things up, finding Pedro Neto in the box. Not the best of performances and not the worst of performances either. He was okay. When the lap came on, I was worried. I was worried at the same time I was not, because I was happy that Pedro Neto was moving back to the wings. And at the same time, I was also worried that the lap coming to the game was going to slow down the game. And when it came, you could see kind of passes he was making to find Estevao. It didn't really work out. It didn't really work out well. The link-up play wasn't working. There was a chance where Pedro Neto ran into the box and there was no one there. Enzo Fernandez arrived late. He did very well to arrive late, but you would expect the lap to be there. You would expect the lap to be the one arriving to the box and not Enzo Fernandez. Yes, some people were saying that Pedro Neto was a little bit selfish, but I feel like Enzo Fernandez didn't arrive early. He raised his head to look whether there was somebody in the box. Enzo Fernandez was arriving late, so he decided to take a shot and Garcia saved. So that was something Enzo Fernandez was doing a lot of in this game. In the first half, he was arriving into the box and getting at the end of passes. He even scored in the first half, and it was disallowed by VAR. He was very good in the game. He was he was also one of our standout performers. But this one, he just arrived later. In the box, and maybe if Pedro Neto had passed the ball, it would have reached him. I don't know. It could have reached him, but he decided to take the shot and it was saved. I think he did what he thought was best. Maybe from us watching, we thought Enzo Fernandez was a better option. But like I said, I don't know why the lap wasn't the one there. Just some few moments afterwards, the lap was there. The lap was there. Enzo Fernandez was able to beat the offside trap that Barcelona decided to set, and he was able to find the lap, and the lap just coolly slotted it in for a third goal against Barcelona. The last time we beat Barcelona was in 2012. Deep that in. The last time we beat Barcelona was in 2012, and you know the game I'm talking about. Since then, they've been either beating us or drawing against us. We haven't really got any upper hand against Barcelona. So for us to break that long drought of not winning against Barcelona with a 3-goal win at Stamford Bridge is just fantastic. It is fantastic. So the game ended 3-0. Goals from Liam Delap, Estevao, and an own goal from Koundé, giving us 3 points in the group stages. That moves us up on the table to fifth. So yeah, there are still more games to come, but this is a good win. This is a very good win for Chelsea, a very good win for the club. We can head into the Arsenal game with some motivation, with some confidence that we've beaten Barcelona. Why can't we beat Arsenal? We can beat Arsenal. We haven't beaten Arsenal in a while though. We haven't beaten them in a while. They've also been getting the upper hand against us. But Arsenal is going to be a different game, because Arsenal are not going to give us space like how Barcelona gave us space today. They are not going to give us space at all. I don't want to start thinking about Arsenal game because I don't want to get worried. I just want to enjoy today's game, and yeah, today's game was good. Today's game was very, very good. Kudos to the team. They were fantastic. Maresca's lineup was perfect. The substitutions were good because Liam Delap coming on scored. Josh and Tyree coming on, they slotted in very, very well. They were able to maintain that 3-goal advantage. So yeah, I mean, good days for us. Solid performance. So yeah, that's been it for my review. Let me know what you think about the game. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, Chelsea is the name, and we keep surprising people, but a lot of people too still undermine us. They feel like Chelsea, we don't We are not that good. We get lucky all the time, but he can't call this luck. He can't call this luck. Maresca strategized well, and we delivered on the pitch. So I mean, you can't call this luck. Let me know what you think about the game in the comment section down below. Let me know if there were some players that did well that I haven't mentioned yet. I know everybody did well. So if you watched this far too and you enjoyed, kindly give the video a like. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. What are you waiting for? Chelsea has beaten Barcelona 3-0. Subscribe to the channel. I'm saying this as if I was the one playing. I was not the one playing. I mean, subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine by me too as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, stay safe.